Hey everybody, I'm Darcy. I'm the creator of the Vibrant Woman course and community. I'm a member of the Conscious Feminine Leadership Academy, and I'm a certified founding member of MAF Method, health coaches, and practitioners. That's a lot. I'm here to talk to you today about conscious feminine cycling and hormone balance. And what do I mean by that? Conscious feminine cycling. So, a lot of us living in a woman's body, if we are during our menstruating years, which means the years of our fertility, then we have a menstrual cycle, right? Our monthly cycle. But a lot of us actually go through that pretty unconsciously. And what I mean by that is a lot of us are not paying attention to because we haven't been taught, right? How many people talk about their periods? With a handful of girlfriends, maybe, with your mom, maybe, I don't know. So, this is not something that has been culturally conditioned in us to talk about it, to experience it in a conscious way, and to do so without shame, right? Well, I'm here to change all of that. The Women in My Vibrant Woman course coming up in January are going to do an entire section around this topic. They're going to learn some methods for charting, both according to basal body temperature, also according to the seasons, and according to the moon cycles. And they're going to come more in touch with their bodies and the messages that come through their bodies and the natural wisdom, the ebb and flow of the wisdom that comes through our bodies at different phases of this cycle. And so that's what I'm here to say today, actually. If you are a woman out there, even if you're a man out there and you know women, this is what we all need to bring more into our conversations, into our consciousness. We need to normalize talking about a woman's cyclical self, okay? Because the earth is not the same season to season, especially if you live in a temperate zone like I do. We're about to enter fall. The entire landscape is about to change. And here in a few months, the fields will be completely fallow. And we don't stand around and say, like, what's wrong with it? We just know this is winter. We know it's going to be barren for a while. We know there's a lot happening beneath the surface that we cannot see. And we trust that there will be a reemergence of life and productivity and creativity and all of this. So we pretty much allow that to happen with the earth. We know what happens with the moon. The moon goes through phases, right? From new moon, where it is dark, through the crescent stage to a full moon where it's bright, where it's more powerful. Because of the alignment, it pulls on the bodies of water and things in nature. Animals respond to it. And guess what? Human beings respond to that as well. So we are not separate from nature. We are nature, and our bodies have been trying to reflect that truth to us. The more we live in harmony with that, the easier it is to relax and go with the flow and understand sort of these natural rhythms in our lives. So one of the things that I teach women in my Vibrant Woman course is how to keep track of their cycle. A lot of us are surprised, when we bleed, or we're not sure when our bleeding is going to happen. It isn't that many people that I know actually that keep track of the length of their cycle and what phase that they're in, understanding what it feels like between your period and ovulation, how to notice the signs that you are getting ready to ovulate or that you have ovulated. So this is all really important work that I think we need to bring, again, into normalcy. Not only does it help women who are struggling with hormone balance issues, and not only does it help women who are trying to conceive, it's just a beautiful layer of awareness to have around, your body and, what it's up to. So I'm going to leave you with a couple of things today that you can actually start implementing right away. And the most important thing, I think, is to just begin to pay attention. My favorite way to do that is with a conscious feminine journaling practice. And I'm just going to share my journal. My sun sign is Virgo, and so this is another thing. If you're going to pick a journal, have it be something beautiful. This is a way to get in touch with our senses. Pleasure will take us, closer to these aspects in ourselves. Pick a journal that's beautiful to you. Maybe you like the texture of it. Maybe you like the cover. And pick a pen to write with that feels good in your hand and you like the way the ink flows out of it. So make this a pleasurable practice. And you only need actually a couple of minutes every week to make this work for you. The more often you do it, the more regularly and frequently that you do it, I think the more you begin to notice. So that's up to you. I would just begin by make sure you put the date in the journal and see if you can find out either by looking into the sky and observing, or you might have to Google and find your moon phases. All right. So you want to know what are the dates of the new moon and the full moon at least. As you begin to fine tune this practice, you can definitely begin to look at the subtle changes of the crescents in between. But at least anchor yourself to a new moon and a full moon and put those dates down. And then I just want you to, a couple times a week, take a few minutes to check in with your body and have your journal nearby. And I just want you to notice how it's feeling. You know, is it alive and vibrant? Is it feeling, like sensory rich? Does it want to be touched? Do you want to be seen? Do you notice yourself paying more attention to your grooming habits? You know, you're doing your hair, your makeup more. I want you to write these things down. Or is your body feeling reclusive? Does it not want to be touched? Is it too hot or too cold? Does it feel a little tense? Is it retreating? Do you want to be do you not want to be seen? Do you want to be alone? So the point is, none of these is right or wrong. Well, we know what's actually rewarded by our culture, right? We prefer women to be that first example that I gave. We don't particularly enjoy when women aren't being pleasing to look at, or, you know, in the mood to try to please us, right? To be more social and outgoing. Both are very normal phases, right? So depending on where you are in your cycle, you're going to have those moods become more predominant. I mean, the moon isn't full all the time. She doesn't shine all the time. She has a dark spot, right? A dark phase. Okay, well, so do you. And all I'm suggesting that is if we begin to pay attention to this, we can learn to love this part of ourselves. We can learn to honor it, and we can actually learn to communicate that to the people that we love who live around us. We can begin to organize our lives in a way that works with our cycle and our natural tendencies rather than trying to struggle against it. I also suggest that this is a good way to begin to notice whether you do have a regular cycle, whether you do have a regular menstrual flow, or if there are some hormone imbalance issues. And again, that's something the participants in my Vibrant Woman course are going to dive deeper into. But certainly this will get you started. And if this is something you'd like to explore more in depth, I absolutely, it's one of my favorite topics, and I love to put it into a one-on-one coaching package for women who are learning to take their health and fitness to another level. So send me a DM and we'll set up a private discovery call. Those are free, and it's just a good chance for us to talk about whether it would be a good fit to work together. And so happy moon cycling, everyone. I'll see you next time.